it's not news per se. I need to preface this. I am not one to jump into the rumor mill and say, oh, did you hear blah, 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 blah. Carter was the one who brought this to my attention. And my knee-jerk reaction was, no, I don't talk rumors. I don't want to perpetuate rumors on the internet, especially on my show, because that's not what Gotta Love Them Movies is all about. That's not what this show is about. We don't throw rumors out there. However, this particular rumor has gained, I think, enough traction that enough people read the headline and they think, oh, this is the truth. And let's address it for a second. Spider-Man 3 is a film currently in production in Atlanta, and they're also filming B-roll here in New York City. There is a huge so Ned leads in the films in the current Spider-Man movie run of movies. He is Peter Parker's best friend at school. They have their super duper, handshake that they're super down on. But the name Ned Leeds in the comics is the Hobgoblin. The character of Ned Leeds in the comics is the supervillain, the Hobgoblin. Now, the Hobgoblin has always been one of my favorite characters. There's something about his particular brand of villainy that I have always found very intriguing and very interesting and fun. I just love the character of the Hobgoblin. And we've never seen him on screen before. We've seen the Green Goblin. The Hobgoblin is kind of a derivative. He's a thief that kind of like went into... like the green, after the Green Goblin died, he went in, stole the glider and stole some of like the exploding pumpkins and stuff like that, and he kind of went off and did his own thing. And that was the character Ned Leeds. Later in the comics, we come to find out that Ned Leeds, who's also a very close friend of Peter Parker's, was brainwashed by another guy. I can't remember his name, doesn't matter. And that he was not acting of his own free will. He was being mind controlled by some other brand of villainy to become this supervillain. So blah 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 blah. So is there a possibility that the actor, and forgive me, I can't think of this actor's name. He's there on screen.
It's yes, Jacob Batalon.
There is a possibility that the actor Jacob Batalon could take up the mantle of being Hobgoblin in the next Spider-Man movie. I highly doubt that this is going to happen. Highly doubt this is going to happen for many reasons. First and foremost, there is so much else happening in this movie that we don't even know about. We know about little bits and pieces here. We know Doctor Strange is going to be in it. We know that Jamie Foxx is reprising his role as Electro in this movie, which those two things combined, very good chance that it's going to open up the multiverse. And we also know that with WandaVision is going to usher in a little bit of, well, we presume the multiverse, but the WandaVision television show is going to usher in the movie Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This Spider-Man movie comes before the Doctor Strange movie, or it's going to be released before the new Doctor Strange movie, which also is going to help usher in the concept of the multiverse. So, I mean, the writing's on the wall. How can you, if it's not that, they've got something completely different up their sleeves. But Ned Leeds, it's possible. I mean, it's very possible if you're dealing with the multiverse. If Spider-Man goes from this reality to another reality, from this universe to another universe, it's possible that in some reality, Peter Parker Spider-Man, Tom Holland, encounters another universe where his best friend, Ned Leeds, actually is the Hobgoblin. Now, the actor, Jacob Batalon, he has lost over 100 pounds. Nobody knows if this is for his personal health reasons or if it's to prepare for a new upcoming role. It doesn't matter. This actor has lost weight. Good for him. I support him in that endeavor. Does that automatically mean that he is gearing up to play Hobgoblin? No. I mean, maybe, but doubtful, because if the powers that be, Kevin Feige and who's directing the film, John Watts, if they decide like, hey, we're gonna stick Hobgoblin in here, that seems too much like fan service. For any real kind of storytelling to happen, there's too much. There is too much already happening in this movie. I, in my heart of hearts, do not believe. Now, I may eat this. I may eat my words 6 months from now, or a year from now, or whatever. I may eat my words, but I cannot imagine that Kevin Feige, being as brilliant as he is going to overstretch himself so much. Oh, we have to put Hobgoblin in there because his name is Ned Leeds. No, that's not going to happen. Carter, do you have a different take on this? What are your thoughts?
Oh, personally, I think that they're really I think they're just leaking things because they want us to be surprised this time. Because like even I was talking to some people about how despite Far From Home being a great movie, I mean obviously no one was surprised that Mysterio, turned bad in the
If
end,
you,
right?
for people who weren't already familiar with the character, they were surprised. Like my girlfriend was totally taken by surprise.
Really? Like they really thought that Mysterio was just going to be a sidekick to
Yeah, I mean,
Spider-Man?
like the way that they played it in the trailers. I'm sorry, my cat is
Yeah.
digging in the cat box right now in the litter box. So if you can hear like this, like repetitive noise, I apologize for that. But there he just won't stop. So my apologies. But
Very good.
yeah, no, she.
I just think they're
Yeah,
throwing
I
so much
agree.
in. You know, I think they're throwing so much in just to make us think about it. Because I mean, I don't think the Sinister Six is going to be in Spider-Man 3 about it. I keep seeing so much fan art about it, and I'm not even really certain that both Andrew and Toby are going to be in it if either one of them. I mean, they're both listed to be in Doctor Strange, but those are still just like rumors of contracts, you
Oh
know?
man, that brings up a whole other kettle of fish. I feel like this is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about, but I haven't had like the right outlet. Again, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, the possibility of them appearing in this Spider-Man movie, if they are indeed introducing the multiverse, the concept of the multiverse, is it possible? Yes, 1,000%. It is possible. Is it likely? I'm going to say 50%. It is 50% likely. In fact, I'm actually going to put it less. I'm going to put it less likely, more like 35%. It's possible that they're going to appear in the movie. Is it likely? From my perspective, no. Nothing has been confirmed. In fact,
No.
let me go back a little bit. A few weeks ago, there was a Sony executive who was speaking specifically on this subject. Where, like, you remember, like a month ago when everybody was getting, Jamie Foxx is gonna be in the new Spider-Man movie. Oh, I
Yeah.
heard a rumor
Yeah.
that if anybody has heard of Cosmic Book News or We Got This Covered,
Yeah.
unsubscribe to their emails. Never go to their websites ever. We Got This Covered and Cosmic Book News. Just delete those from like can you put like a spam blocker on your computer for those websites, because everything that comes out of those websites 100% rumor. Not to say that some things can't end up being true, but they put out like 95% rumors, and then maybe like 5% of the stuff that they talk about actually ends up being true. So they are not a reliable source of news whatsoever. So just do yourself a favor, get rid of them. But
Yeah.
news outlets like Cosmic Book News and We Got This Covered, they were like running with the story like, it is confirmed Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire will be in the new Spider. No, that was never
Yeah.
confirmed.
They're running everything. And still, like I still talk to people about which villain, besides obviously Electro being confirmed and people talking about Hobgoblin. People are obviously still talking about Scorpion because he was in Homecoming. or at
Yep.
the end of Homecoming. And people are still talking about what was the other one? People, oh, and Craven the Hunter. People are
Well, I
still
mean,
talking about.
Sony confirmed
Uh,
that a Craven the Hunter movie is in the works. That like the next
yes, they
movie that they're
did.
doing after Morbius.
Venom 2,
Yeah,
Carnage,
so
right?
Carnage is, I think
I think it goes Morbius then
I
Carnage,
think you're
right?
right. I think you're right. Yeah. So Morbius,
Yeah,
Carnage, and then the next movie is going to be Craven the Hunter, which I think is brilliant. I think that's
yeah,
awesome. I'm very much looking forward to that.
yeah.
But so I mean that's been confirmed. Also, it's been oh shoot, what was the other thing that you said?
I said people are talking about Scorpion
I
because he was in
mean, that is
Homecoming.
more likely because he was actually in the movie. He was actually
Yeah.
there. I think that's way more likely that they're going to expand his character because he's already there. Are they building up towards the Sinister Six? You say no.
No, they are building up to
Oh, okay.
Sinister Six. Are they doing it in? Are they doing it in
No.
Spider-Man
No.
3?
They're laying the
No.
groundwork. I think they're going to tell a really
Oh,
fun, interesting
totally.
story in Spider Man 3. But again, it's not going to be like The Amazing Spider Man 2, which I still contend is a good movie. I know I'm in the minority here. Um, uh,
Spider-Man.
The Amazing
What?
Spider
The
Man 2.
Far From Home? Oh, I like
It
the
was
Amazing
fun.
Spider-Man 2.
I
I mean,
enjoyed
the
it.
ending is. Yeah.
But like, they're not going to jam pack all this stuff to say, hey, the next thing coming is a Sinister Six. Of course, they're building up for it. Look at the Sony verse. If you think for a second that Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal aren't in cahoots with each other, come on. Like, there is so much money on the table here, you guys. That whole thing
Oh yeah.
of Tom Holland is he's not going to be Spider-Man anymore. Do you remember like when the MCU and Sony kind of split? There was that whole announcement that they split back at D23 last year, and then Tom Holland had to come out and he was like, "Hey guys, it's been a real pleasure playing Spider-Man, and just thank you. I just want to let you know that I'm humbled." That was a PR
Yeah.
stunt.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was a
yeah.
pure PR stunt.
Well, just like all that Mark Ruffalo stuff was a PR stunt. Everyone was just. I mean, maybe he isn't good at keeping some secrets, but when it came to the last Avengers movie, that came out later on to be proven to be a
Which
PR stunt.
stunt are you speaking of specifically?
What was it? Jimmy Fallon, I think, when he said the name of the movie,
Oh, probably, yeah.
Avengers.
But then there's other stuff that he does where
Yeah,
like
that
he
was
left his Instagram live on when he sat down for Thor Ragnarok.
that was hilarious.
That was a complete accident. It was
um,
hysterical.
but if I may say about Spider-Man, this is my. Can I say what my hope is for Spider-Man?
Go for it.
All right, my hope is that they really, really lean into this Sinister Six and ruin this movie by putting too many people in it, and then we finally get to see Chameleon on the big screen.
Ooh, Chameleon. That's an interesting choice. And
Well, I mean, it's his Spider-Man's first villain, and I just feel like Kevin Feige, like at this point, was like, I mean, if we actually get to do Spider-Man 3, I feel like Kevin Feige would want to have Spider-Man's first villain come in.
So Chameleon has also been in the rumor mill. Chameleon has also been in the rumor
I
mill.
haven't heard it as much as other
Definitely
ones,
nowhere
though,
near as
but-
prevalent. In fact, he's also one of the villains that is not all that prevalent. I mean, you think of your main Spider-Man villains, you think of, Doc Ock, you think Green Goblin, you think, Vulture, you think Electro, the Shocker, even the Shocker. I love how they portrayed the Shocker in the first movie. I thought it was fun.
I find it funny that people, like, when I was talking to my friends about Spider-Man, they knew Shocker before they knew Chameleon. Because I completely forgot Shocker existed until Homecoming came out.
I don't think that if they do put Chameleon in the film, I don't think he's going to be one of the main villains. I think Chameleon is going to be more like, one of the henchmen. He's going to be one of the guys who is like Shocker was. Like Shocker was a henchman to Vulture. I think, because how else are they going to play that? You've got Doctor Strange in the movie. We already know they're going to be playing around with the multiverse at least a little bit. I mean, come on. They talked about it in the last movie, Far From Home. They talked about the multiverse. They didn't introduce it, but they talked about it.
Well, yeah, but that was also a ploy that Mysterio was putting out, you
True,
know.
but they
Despite it, they did talk about it.
but from the audience
I
perspective,
don't
you
know.
need to kind of like usher in the audience a little bit and like he said multiverse. What is that? Oh, the next movie talks about the multiverse. Oh, okay.
Well, see, when the first rumors about Craven came out, I was like, oh yeah, Craven's going to be the main villain until the end when you find out it's Chameleon. That was immediately my first thought because Chameleon's the one who tells Craven in, I think, issue 13 or something when Craven's introduced. You find out later that the reason that Craven's hunting Chameleon is because Chameleon bets Craven that he can't kill Spider-Man.
I'm gonna have to
You know what
think
I'm
on
saying?
this one.
And Chameleon, you can look into it and think on it, but I'm just saying I want Chameleon to be a much bigger villain in the MCU than people give him credit for.
I would agree with that. I would agree with
I
that.
want. I don't think it's going to
I would agree
happen,
with that.
but
I don't know.
but like if it doesn't happen, then I want the video game to do it. Just like how I was never a big fan of Tinkerer, but I liked how they used him in
Yeah,
Homecoming, and I'm happy to see him, with a little bit more screen time in Spider-Man
I agree.
PS5. You know what I'm
And
saying?
he's got such a great rogues
Yeah.
gallery too. It's so big. You know who I would just love to see just out of sheer ridiculousness is Stilt Man. Just sheer ridiculous. Can we just have Stilt? I don't even need him to have any kind of confrontation. Just have him walking in the background. Just acknowledge that he exists in this universe. Like maybe
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, maybe when the Baxter Tower gets introduced, maybe you like have an establishing shot of Baxter Tower, and then just like walking down Fifth Avenue is just Stilt Man. Just
Well, does anyone have Stiltman's name like in a prior
I don't
movie?
think
Like
so.
how
No,
what's
I
his
don't think so.
no, like what's his name from The Office and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was definitely going to be the big villain in The Amazing Spider-Man
From The
3.
Office. Who are you talking about? James Spader?
No, 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 no. The dude, he's a co-creator or a co-writer for The Office. He plays the
Oh, Brian the
Temp.
Temp. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes,
Um, but yeah, him and Felicia, what's her name, are both in The Amazing
correct,
Spider-Man 2 to set up Black Cat
correct.
and whoever that robotic spider villain is. That's name is escaping me
Uh,
now. Like,
the Spider Slayer.
is it Spider Slayer? I was just about to say All Star, but then I started singing it in my head, and I was like, that's
Anyway,
not
guys,
it.
big question for you is what do you think of this news? It's not even news, it's rumors. What do you think of these rumors coming out of Screen Rant about Spider-Man 3, about Ned Leeds potentially being Hobgoblin? I know we got off topic. We got way off topic here. But what would you like to see from Spider-Man 3? Any particular villains? What do you think the story is going to be? Jump down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles would want you to do. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.